Hello students, initially I want to congratulate all of you entering into the final year of graduation. Now we will introduce about our syllabus which we will study during this year. Our botany, it has just like previous year 4 theory papers and 2 practicals. Paper number 12 it deals with the study of plant physiology, or title of the paper number 12 it is study of plant physiology. Now question arises that what is means by plant physiology? Actually, what is means by physiology? Physiology is the branch of science which deals with the study of different kinds of metabolic activities. Here, in case of physiology, what we study? We study the different metabolic activities which are taking place inside the cell. Then question arises that which are the metabolic activities, or which activities are known as the metabolic activities? Then those reactions in which energy is involved or enzyme is involved, such type of reactions, these are known as metabolic activities. Yes. What are the metabolic activities? Metabolic activities are energy involved reactions. Either energy is utilized or evolved, but energy is involved. Such type of reactions, these are known as metabolic activities or metabolism. And study of such metabolism, it is known as physiology. As we are studying the plants, therefore it is the plant physiology. Then here metabolism, it is of two types, that is the anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism, or in case of anabolism, actually what happens? The building of large molecule, it is taking place from smaller molecules, or energy it is stored in these reactions. Okay, first example of anabolism is the photosynthesis, in which carbon dioxide, water, these small molecules, they combine together and they form glucose, which is the larger molecule. Okay, and energy is stored in this glucose. Okay, and catabolism is the reaction in which the breaking of larger molecule, it is taking place into the smaller molecule, evolving energy. Energy is given out during this process. Best example is respiration. Okay, thus metabolism, it is of two. It contains two kinds of reactions, that is anabolism and catabolism. Now turning towards our syllabus, our first unit, it contains different kinds of physiological phenomena are there, like permeability. Okay, most of the times when we are describing any kind of membrane, at that time we are using this term, that is the permeability. Okay, we say that the membrane is either permeable or impermeable, etc. That is, permeability, it is a property of membrane by virtue of which molecules can move across that membrane. And depending upon that particular property, this membrane, it is divided into three types. Number one, that is the permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane, and impermeable membrane. Next phenomenon, that is the diffusion. This is very simple phenomenon. Actually, we are experiencing during our day-to-day life. One of the person, he used perfume on his clothes, but whole class, it experienced that particular smell. Why? Because his molecules, gas molecules, these are moving from one place to another place. That is, diffusion is the process in which the molecules, either liquid molecule, either gas molecules, these are moving from high concentration to low concentration. Okay. The moment of gas or liquid molecule from high concentration to low concentration, it is known as diffusion. Next phenomenon, that is the osmosis. Very interesting phenomenon it is, and it is having very great physiological function. To know about osmosis, we must know the terms, that is the solute, solvent and solution. We know that the solute are the solid substances which dissolves in the solvent, and solvent is generally liquid in which solute particles dissolves, and both combined forms solution. That is the mixture of solute and solution. Solute and solvent, it is known as solution. Here, during osmosis, most important thing is semi-permeable membrane. In case of osmosis, the moment of solvent molecule, it is taking place across the semi-permeable membrane from low concentration to high concentration of solute. Remember one thing, movement of solvent molecule through the semi-permeable membrane from low concentration to high concentration of the solute. This process, it is known as osmosis. Generally, such type of or different kinds of experiences we have experienced as far as osmosis is concerned. Just during summer, when we bring grapes from the market, we dip in the water. Our purpose is to wash. Okay. Grapes, it becomes turgid because the water gets absorbed by the cells of grapes, and therefore it becomes more turgid. That means whenever a cell, it is kept in a solution which is having low concentration than the protoplasm, no doubt water, it enters inside the cell. Such type of solution, it is known as hypotonic solution, which is having low concentration than the cell. When cells are kept in hypotonic solution, what happens? Water enters inside the cell. This phenomenon, it is known as endosmosis, and the cell becomes turgid. And in contrast to that, when cells are kept in the solution which is having more concentration, that is hypertonic solution it is called. When cells are kept in hypertonic solution, what happens? Water is given outside. And therefore, what happens? The cell gets shrink. This phenomenon is known as osmosis, in which the solid molecules move from cell to surrounding. That is called osmosis. And osmosis appears or occurs when cells are kept in hypertonic solution. So type of endosmosis or exosmosis, these are the types of osmosis. As already mentioned, next phenomenon, that is the plasmolysis. As already mentioned, when cells are kept in the hypertonic solution, then exosmosis takes place, and the cells shrink. Due to shrinkage, what happens? cell wall it cannot leave its place because it is tough layer, but plasma membrane is elastic. In normal condition it is just below the cell wall, but when exosmosis occurs, it leaves a gap between cell wall and plasma membrane. This gap or this phenomenon, it is known as a plasmolysis. Another most important phenomenon we have to study, that is the imbibition. Generally, this phenomenon is very important one for seed germination purpose. The seed coat, it has a number of hydrophilic substances which absorb water and it swells. Seed coat, it absorbs water and seed coat gets swelled. This is due to this phenomenon, it is called imbibition. And due to that, or this phenomenon, imbibition, it is very important one or first stage of seed germination, you may say, that is the imbibition of water. Unit number first. Next topic we have to study, that is the ascent of sap. Question arises, what is the ascent of sap? We know that water is absorbed by the plant through the root. The transport of water from root hairs to the uppermost portion of plant, this phenomenon is known as ascent of sap. How it is occurring? How water is transported from lower root hairs to metapical meristem? It is studied under the ascent of sap. Different theories have been given, but most important theory, that is the transpiration pull theory, we have to study. Here different words are there, transpiration and pull. Okay. Then again question arises, what is meant by transpiration? This is also included in our syllabus. That is transpiration, its definition, types, and we have to study the structure of stomata, which is through which the transpiration occurs, and the mechanism of opening and closing of the stomata. Just we will highlight some things which are important one while introducing the syllabus, that is what is means by transpiration. Transpiration, it is, we know that water is getting absorbed by the plants, and all the water which is absorbed by the plant, it is not utilized by them, but excess of water which is present in the plant body, it is lost through the stomata in the form of water vapors. This phenomenon, it is known as transpiration. And this transpiration, it is very important one to maintain the temperature of plant body. Because you may think that if water has to be lost, then why it should be absorbed? Okay. Therefore, why it should be lost? To maintain the water temperature of the plant. And that is the importance of transpiration. Different types of transpirations are there. We'll see in detail about that in by step by step. Okay. And as already mentioned, most of the transpiration it is taking place by stomata. Therefore, we have to study the stomata structure. We know that it is having guard cells, it is having subsidiary cells, and in between two guard cells there is a notch and stomata are open, through which is called stomatal aperture, through which gaseous exchange takes place. And when they are closed, stomata are closed, there is no any kind of aperture or opening. Then again, in last point of the unit number first, there is a plant movement. We know that we are experiencing different kinds of movements in the plants. I will give some example. Their classification, different kinds of movement. We will see in detail about that movements in later. Just I will give some examples of plant movement. We know that Mimosa pudica plant, in Marathi it is known as lazar. When we touch, it shrinks its leaves. It closes its leaves. This is one example of plant movement. Another thing, if some pots these are kept inside a window, at that time the plant it grows towards the sunlight. This is another kind of movement. Such type of different kinds of movements, these are occurring in the plants. You know that roots are growing towards the water. This is also another movement in the plants. Such type of different movements, these are occurring in the plants. What are the different kinds of movements? That is the paratonic movements are there, nastic movements are there. Again these movements are categorized into the different categories. All these movements and its classification we will study in detail about that in this point, that is the plant movements. In unit number second, we have to study the mineral nutrition in the plants. In that, we are studying major and minor elements which are essential for the plant growth. There are sources from where these are occurring, these are acquired by the plants. What happens if such type of nutrients are not available, that is the deficiency symptoms which are occurring in the plants, and what are the role of these particular nutrients in the plant life. We have to study in detail about that. We know that all of us are the children of farmer. We are using different kinds of fertilizers. Some fertilizers are given in larger bags. That means these are required by the plants in large quantity, which are known as a major elements, that is the NPK, or certain nutrients. These are given in smaller bags. That means these nutrients, these are required in smaller quantity, but these are very essential for the plant growth. These are not as minor nutrients. We have to study all these major and minor nutrients which are required by the plant, their deficiency symptoms and their role in the plant life. Then we have to study, that is, mineral salt absorption. That is, these minerals which are present in the soil, how these are absorbed by the plants. Different theories are there again, ion exchange theory and carrier concept theory. These two important theories are there which we have to highlight during this process. Then after absorption, how these minerals are translocated from root to different parts where it is required. that is translocation of these minerals or organic solutes. It has to be studied in unit number 7, that is introduction and mechanism of translocation of organic solute. This point we will study in unit number 7. The third unit, it deals with the study of different kinds of growth hormones which are found in the plants. Initially we have to see what is meant by growth, what are the different phases of growth in the plant. We know that since from the seed germination to the flowering or formation of fruits, plant it is going through the different stages. We have to study the different phases of growth in the plants, measurement of growth in the plants, different kinds of instrument we are using to measure the growth. RK indicators are there, paper size genometer is there. We have to study its working or way of measuring the growth using such type of indicators or genometer we have to study. Then different factors which are responsible for plant growth we have to study, and most important factors are growth hormones, that is auxin, gibberellins, cytokinin, abscisic acid, ethylene. All these growth hormones, their physiological effect we have to study, or what are the practical applications of these growth hormones we have to study. The next that is the seed hormones. Again, a very important phenomenon it is, that is seed hormones. We know that after harvesting, we are not sowing the seeds directly. Just after harvesting, we are not sowing the seeds. We are keeping the seeds for a certain period, because the seeds cannot germinate just after harvesting. Why? Because there are certain factors which doesn't allow to germinate the seeds, or which inhibit the germination of seeds, which are essential for the germination of seed. These are lacking. Therefore, this seed, it fails to germinate. Though all the environmental conditions are suitable for germination, the seed fails to germinate due to certain physiological or spatial requirement. This phenomenon it is known as seed hormones. I will quote one example, that is lotus seeds. We know that lotus it is aquatic plant. It produces seeds. If that particular water body where this lotus is growing, it never dry, the seed cannot germinate up to 20 years or even more than that. But if it becomes dry during the summer, and again it gets filled with water in monsoon or rainy season, then its dormancy may reduce 5 to 6 years. Different factors are responsible for the seed dormancy, like seed coat. Certain chemicals are there, like in tomato, its sap contains certain germinating inhibitors. We have to study different factors which are responsible for that particular seed dormancy, and what we have to do to break this dormancy. All this it will be studied in this point. Then we have to study the seed germination. Different types of seed germination are there. What are that types? We have to study. Then physiology of flowering we have to study. What is the photoperiod? Okay, in case of plants, generally for flowering purpose, the photoperiod is best most important one. For flowering in certain plants, these plants has to expose for 12 or more hours in a day. Such plants, they are known as long day plants. While certain plants, they require small duration of light for the flowering purpose. They are known as short day plant, and few plants, they don't have any effect of light period. That is called day-neutral plants. We have to see this photoperiodism phenomenon in the plants. Then vernalization is also one of the physiological phenomenon, and in reverse to that, devernalization is there. We have to study in that in unit number 3. Then our last unit, 4th unit, that is the biomolecules and secondary metabolites. Here, most important biomolecules like carbohydrates, proteins and lipids, we have to study its structure, its classification and biological significance. Next, that is the metabolites. Question arises, what is meant by metabolites? No doubt simple, that is the product of metabolic activities or metabolism, it is called metabolites. In plants, different kinds of metabolic products are there, like tannins, terpenoids, flavonoids, alkaloids, essential organics, essential oils are there, organic acids are there. All these structures or secondary metabolites, what are their functions? We have to study in this unit number 4. Thus, in this paper, we are studying different aspects of physiology of the plant. I think this much introduction regarding the paper is a sufficient one. No doubt all these structures or all these points we will see in detail in 5th semester. I wish all of you a best luck for the 5th semester, and hopefully you will go through this syllabus, you will clear some basic concepts, because all these structures or all these points you have already studied in 11th or 12th standard or at graduation level. Just we have to see or we have to study in more detail, but preliminary knowledge of these points or this content you must have. You will go through or you will review your knowledge and prepare yourself for this 3rd year syllabus. Thank you very much.